We're going to put the power supply in Paul's case.
Hi, I'm Paul. This is Diane. We are the PC Zombies, and we are building a high-end PC for me. And what we're doing today is part 2 of that build. We already put together the motherboard, and we're now ready to move on to the case and the power supply. And along the way, we're going to teach you some tricks as well. One of the tricks we're going to teach you is where to find the case mounting screws for the power supply. Well, how do you put it in there when most of the time your power supply doesn't come with the screws?
And we will show you a photo trick that will make you more productive in the future.
And finally, we're going to talk about how come orientation matters and what to do if you have the option to mount it either way. Okay, let's get going, Di.
I'm ready.
We'll get another anti-sack mat here for the build. We're going to put the case on this and we're going to put the power supply in. The anti-sack mat by itself, as you know, isn't enough. We'll plug it in. We snap it in here. We'll put a link to it. Snap it in here, plug it in to the outlet. Now we've got this grounded and this grounded. And we got 2 straps, Di. I know I got the black cord, you get the blue cord. For the wrist strap to work, whenever you're touching anything that could be dangerous, make sure you clip it to the anti-static mat. Got it?
Maybe I should wear it all the time.
Because you're always dangerous.
No, you're dangerous.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot. Okay, Di, here's the case.
Wow, is that
The Phanteks NV7. This is the back of the case. Most cases don't have a door on the back. This one does. The back of the computer is here, so any cables that come out, you can route them through here, and they come out at the bottom. So the back of your PC will be cleaner when it's all put together.
That is sure is beautiful. So where does the power supply go?
Power supply goes up here in this little compartment. So it's compartmentalized away from the inside of the case where the motherboard and all the cooling and everything's happening. It's going to sit in this little slot here. So we're going to have to take the back door off and the back of the case off.
Okay.
But before we do that, let me show you what else came with the Phanteks NV7. Because here's what else came with the NV7, Di. We got a manual, which is Velcroed to the box of little components that you might need.
Can't lose that.
No, if you open it up.
I love that.
This is the manual. This is a great manual. I love this company. A lot of companies don't print out manuals anymore. Look at it. It's a color, glossy manual that shows you how to take apart the case and put it back together. All right.
I love it.
It also comes with this accessory box. And this is all the little screws and pieces that you might need as you're building out your system. So let's set this aside for right now. What we need right now is to take off the back and the front. And to do that, we're going to need some screwdrivers. Taking apart a case usually is just done with Phillips screwdriver.
Why 3?
You need one that fits your screws. So you got a big screwdriver and a little screwdriver in case you get some little screws. We don't know what we're going to hit yet, okay?
Okay.
What's the rule on these, Dies? How do you decide the little screwdriver or the big screwdriver? By the size of the screw?
No, you want to pick the biggest screwdriver that'll fit in the screw head, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Sometimes the screw looks really small and you grab the small screwdriver and you strip it and you ruin it.
Right.
But the big one often fits in smaller screws than you think. So always start with the biggest one.
Yeah.
What's the rule on electric screwdrivers?
Well, your rule is to hide it from me.
Yeah, the rule is ask to borrow it and I come with it, you know.
That's right.
You've used it, nice. So no, the rule for the electric screwdriver is you only use it for removing screws and never use it with delicate screws around the motherboard or the CPU and stuff like that. All right, now we got to take off the back of the case and the side of the case, all right?
All right.
In both cases, the back or the side panel, you start with the top. So you got to take off this screw and this screw. Let's use the electric screwdriver. It's easy enough. These screws are dangle screws. They stay on. They don't actually come off. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, we got these 2 screws. They just hang. Now we pull the whole thing straight back, and then we can lift it right up and off, okay? With the top off die, you close this just a little bit, and then you just lift it up, and it comes right off.
Oh, easy.
For the back of the case, we're going to have to take this little screw off on top first, okay?
Okay.
What do I reach for first? It's a small screw, so I use the small screwdriver. Nope, you start with the big screwdriver. If it fits, you use it. If it doesn't, you switch. Fits like a glove.
Oh, good.
And I know you don't have to go bigger than the standard screwdriver. Screwdriver's out, sticking.
Well, don't lose the screws. That's another
Another tip, don't lose the screws. You are so helpful today. Okay, now with this screw off die, we could reach up here. There's a couple of little holes for your fingers. Pull it up and take it off. And guess what? We're not done. We look like we're done taking the back off, but we're at the point now where we start to lose things. What are we going to lose? This is a tip. you're going to lose your screw.
That's right.
A little tiny screw. So now that the case is off,
Oh, that's a great tip.
and see how it's hard to kind of get it started?
Yeah.
Another tip is get a magnet. I'll put a link to these on Amazon. And now your screwdriver holds the screw really well.
Oh.
Makes it a lot easier to put in.
I never knew that existed.
And then you just, now you got to be careful with magnets around computers. A lot of things, especially on your motherboard, this could cause damage. Don't drop these on your motherboard. Make sure you just keep them on your screwdriver.
Makes sense. Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
So you have two backs, right?
Yeah.
So how do you just...
Well, okay, so sometimes I call this the back, sometimes I call this the back, right?
Right.
Because this is the back of the display side, and this is the back of the case. This is the front when you're in your office, right?
Okay.
Your front and side. So this would really be the left side, right side, front side, back side,
Okay.
bottom and top.
Okay, so it's the right side.
Yeah, no, that was a great question.
Okay, got it.
Now we're ready to put the power supply in.
Okay.
Okay, Di, here's the power supply. The HX1500i is a powerful power supply for a powerful computer. Inside of here, we've got the cabling. We'll get back to that later, in a later episode, actually. We're not going to put any cabling in right away. We're just putting the power supply in right now.
Okay.
Here's the power supply.
Oh, nice.
And I want to start by showing you there's two sides to it, obviously this side and this side. And before I start going any further, because this could cause a static shock, let's set this down and put my strap on.
So why do you need a static wrist thing for the power supply? Yeah.
You probably couldn't hurt a power supply if you tried to by touching it with shock, unless you really had a lot of charge built up in you. But
Yeah.
certainly these little parts here where it connects actually into the supply, if your shock could reach across to there, it may cause some problem. But the reality is, whenever you're building a computer, put the strap on no matter what you're doing.
Okay.
Because you don't know what you're going to reach for or touch. Like we might touch one of these cables while we're putting in the power supply. That would be bad.
Wasn't there a tip also on
Oh, there was.
taking a picture of the
Yep.
power supply?
And why don't we do that right now?
Okay.
The tip is literally take your phone out, take a picture of the back of the power supply.
Oh.
So that once I put the power supply in the case, then that back's going to be really hard to see. There may be cables crossing in front of it, things like that. And it's kind of in a dark, little tiny space. So having that photo will be real valuable later on. Now let's talk about mounting the power supply.
Okay.
You know that it's going to go in this little cavity up here. Can you see that okay?
Yes, I can see it.
And so it's going to eventually go in. It's not going to have the outputs going towards the back of the case because all of your components are on the inside of the case. And these are channels inside the case that you're going to route your cables. And they're going to pop out into the inside of the case at some point.
Okay.
So when you put your power supply in, it's either going to go like this or like this. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
And now we can talk about orientation. When we get to the point where we're mounting the power supply, it's going to mount right here, and the screws for it are going to be out in the back of the case, okay?
Okay.
There's one way up here, down a little bit on this side, and then two on the bottom.
Oh, I see it.
Now this side, the bottom is in line with the top screw. You see how that works?
Yes.
And over here, it's not in line. The top screw goes off in the edge, and it doesn't even go all the way to the top. And this one's inside of the hole. Do you see that?
One's a notch.
That's helping to orient the power supply correctly. Some cases will allow the screws, they'll have an extra notch on this side and an extra inside screw over here, so you could mount the power supply either direction.
Oh, nice.
It's real important you get it right on this case, because on this case, once the back is on, if you look at this, there's a vent here. You don't want the heat from inside the case getting into the power supply. You don't want the power supply heat going into the case. You want the power supply heat going straight out. So I would bet money that this is how it's going to go in. So the fan is blowing through the vent. And in fact, if you look at these are the two in line. Look at the back of the power supply, two in line. And then these are kind of offset at different spots.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do a little trial fit first. Put the power supply in. What do you think?
That is pretty.
So we're going to put those screws into those holes right here, right now. So where do the screws come from? There was no screws that came with the power supply. The screws actually come with your case. And here are the screws for this particular case. And on about the third page of the manual is a list of all the parts. And right here it says PSU screw. So you look for the screw that looks like the one they say. It's got, in this case, it looks like you could put a little socket on top. Whenever I put screws into anything, I like to do one corner, then the other corner, and kind of do a star pattern. So I'll just do that. It's just a good habit to do with anything. It's going right in. I can feel it already. That's it. Hand tighten. Don't use an electric screwdriver for putting screws in, just for taking them out.
And ask to borrow it before you use it.
Yes, when I do something like that. That screw there is almost too high to keep the screwdriver straight. So it's a good thing you use the large screwdriver so that it doesn't strip the screw. Because when you start holding it at an angle, it starts to strip. On top of that die, once you start working in here, it's really hard to see what these little labels say above everything. And once you have cables in there, it's even harder. So that's why you take that photo.
Makes sense. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it, except for one last thing. Wiggle it a little bit, make sure it's in solid, and it is. We're good.
Well, we have one component in the case. I'm excited.
Well, we're gonna get a lot more, and next time we're gonna put the motherboard in. Please subscribe so you can see it, and thanks for watching.
And give us a thumbs up if you like the video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.